Do not say that all the time. Where are you going? Enough. Hey. Enough. 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 Good boy. Getting treats real hard. Take it easy with that mouth. Good boy. Take it easy with those teeth. Link. Man, your teeth are really digging in. So open palm would work so much better. Nope. Good boy, Puppy. Hey, Link. Take one. Link. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yep. Good boy. Just for looking. For looking and not barking. working rather than concentrating. Think. Back it up. Down. Good boy. So what happens if you don't give treats? He'll revert back to his old behavior. So we ignore this behavior. If we can't ignore it, if it's not disturbing the neighborhood. And wait for him to reconnect with us. So this is after the fact. If you're too slow and he starts to react, you can wait him out. Wait him out. Wait him out. There's no other game in town. Because he needs to make the mistake to know what should be rewardable. And I will just take this standing, as long as he's not lunging or doing too much barking. I'll take standing and whining, as long as it's not tight. So right now I'm holding him back. So this is just frustration, anxiety. He's choosing to look back at me. I'm rewarding the look back when he chooses so. I'm rewarding him laying down. I'm not giving it into the pulling. I'm ignoring these unwanted behaviors if I can. I'll give him a pop quiz, see if I can break his attention from it. Link. Leave it. Ignore it if you can. If you can't ignore it, do what I did at the beginning by walking away, getting attention back. So if you can ignore this, ignore it. Wait for this behavior. Reward this behavior. But if he goes off, enough. Let's go. Let's go. Good boy. Get his composure back here. Don't go back until yeah, pull him away on the leash. You give the same amount of pull back you get from the yank. So he gives me 10% yank, I give him 10% pull back. He gives me 50% yank, I give him 50% pull back. Nice and easy. Leash, we go forward. Link. We approach the area quietly. We get rewards. Now I'm not yanking him back. I'm just being a glorified post. I could yank him back or pull him back, but right now I'm choosing to let him make the mistake and get nothing out of it. So just wallow, marinate in your mistake. My criteria right now is a loose leash and attention back to me. Everything else is getting ignored. He's still just trying to gain quote-unquote access or reward by himself. He's not connected to me. He's not paying attention to me. The leash right now is just a safety net to stop him from going any further that I want him to. So there's no connection with me at all to reward. So I'm just a glorified post right here. He knows how to work me. Here's some connection back. I exist. Here's some work. Now I could reward this. But this is what I'm waiting out for. If I get connection, I'm waiting for a little bit more. Now if he just looked back at the dog and looked back at me, I would reward that. But because now, so he's staring at the dog, looking at the dog, looking at the dog, looks away but does not reconnect back with me. So I might just give him a treat for looking at the dog and not reacting to it, but right now I've raised the criteria to higher, that look at the dog and reconnect back with me and do something with me. Here's some connection. Then a choice is made. Ignoring that choice. These are just wasted choices. You could whimper and stare all you want. Don't care. So I'm moving a little bit, seeing if there's any connection back to me. There's looseness in the leash just because he's at the end of what he thinks is the end of the leash, but I'm not giving him anything until he reconnects back with me, because he's just going to take one step forward and realize that there is a new limit to the leash. So there may be looseness right now, but it's not rewardable. I could say his name right now to test his name out, but right now I'm waiting for him to look back at me, making that decision. Back at me and an actual conscious decision to stay with me and work with me, rather than just trying to problem solve a way to get things himself, which is right now what's happening. So if we're sitting around here way too long, make sure this thing's even recording. Yep, okay, buddy. Just don't knock it down. Link. Down. Down. There we go. So, because I checked to make sure that we are being recorded right now, I lowered my criteria to just reconnection. So this is what I mean. This, like, choosing to look back at me and choosing to actually work. I may take the sit here and reward the sit, because if I'm just waiting for the DOWN, that may be too much. Come on, let's go. Good boy. Choosing to come along with me if I ask. So we approach the area back. So this is like great if you can do this with a dog in a yard or something like this, if you really want to do that. So as long as I don't throw treats at my dog, Kit, that's off in the corner, he can be fine with him just being kind of like a dog statue over there staring at us. But the moment that the other dog moves, that's when Link gets set off. Right now that Kit is being statuesque over there, everything is nice and easy. Down. Let's see, like that just went right past his head. So again, he's not really connected to me. He's more so interested in his environment right now. If I start shifting around, then he starts paying attention to me, just to give you an idea of what's happening off to the side. That's the end of the leash. That's rewardable. There you go. To give you another angle with all this, let's see. If we work this way now. Come here. Down. Down. Stay. Down. 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 Due to that dog off in the distance, you can see the behavior isn't as precise without the distractions of other things. Down. Down. To keep him down, 1 treat, 2 treat, pull away a little bit, 3 treat, pull away a little bit, 4 treat, pull away a little bit, wait, 5 treat. He stays in it down, 6th treat, 7th treat, holds it a bit longer, looks at the dog over there, chooses to look back at me. 8, 9, 10. Free. Good boy. So if another dog moves, he gets set off. So for example, so we either wait this out, or we say a phrase and walk away. Enough. Enough. Let's go. Come into the area. Criteria is low, just come into the area. Loose leash, no barking. Get treats, and then start to raise what is expected of you. Link. Come back over here. Get his attention. Link. He pays attention, he gets a treat just for paying attention. Link. Waving the treat in front of, that was a fake throw. And now, Link. Enough. As you can see, the words themselves, once he's crossed over and reacting, there's nothing you can do besides going into management mode, which is to walk away. Come on. Well, don't walk in front of my feet. Then if we can walk back into the area calmly, we get treats as we walk into the area calmly, and if we freak out again, Link! So I lost that opportunity. I had his attention for just a split second. Link! Link! Link, come over here. Before he crosses over into that barking fit, he can still be a bit attentive to you. Use that opportunity. Come here. Come here. Sit. Link. And then through consistency and repetition, he'll start to understand that once he hits the end of the leash, he's not going anywhere. If he barks, it's a lost cause. If he stays quiet in the presence of a dog, even if he whimpers and even if he stares, I'll work that. The examples that you saw earlier was taking it to the next step. But right now, all you can really do and hope for when you're walking around your neighborhood is that when you approach an area with another dog, just start working with him. Good boy. Good boy, handsome. Yeah, you. No, not the jumps. Come on. Walk into the area already. I see a dog off in the distance. Good boy, Link. There you go. Yeah, what's over there? Start talking to him. You see, yeah, that's a good boy. As long as he's not barking, he sees the other dog off in the distance. Good boy. There you go, my man. But if you have a example like this of good boy, of a friend or a dog in the yard, of your neighbor that doesn't mind your dog, working, then walking into the area already having your dog's attention, good things are happening. Yeah, good things are happening as long as you're in the same area. But if you bark, we walk away. Then we walk into that area again. Come on, buddy. And we're preemptive. Good boy. I'm not asking for anything. Good boy. Just looking over there and he gets a good boy, or just me even. I'm not waiting for him to look back at me. If he stares at that other dog off in the distance, then and doesn't react, when we walk into this area, he sees a dog off in the distance, immediately your hand goes into his mouth with a treat. As long as he's not barking and staring off in the distance, this is how fast you should be feeding him until he stops caring about that dog and starts looking up at you. Once that happens, you can keep giving him treats. You can then start asking him for things like sit. Come here. If he doesn't do it, don't take too much time wallowing in the fact that he didn't do it. It's difficult to regain, to maintain his composure in this types of senses. So what your most important aspect of this training is not to get him to sit, not to get him to do any of this type of nonsense, is to get him to get rewards for, for seeing that dog off in the distance and not barking at it, and then working at this quick rate of reinforcement that you see this dog off in the distance and you don't go off on it, you get treats. The moment you go off on it, you get pushed away. Once you regain your composure, you can come back into that area. I'm feeding him right now. I'm feeding him right now. I'm feeding him right now. He sees that dog's not barking. I reach in and give him a treat. He's not barking. My hand just gets removed a little bit so you can see why he's getting a treat. He sees that dog, he's not barking. This is what you're going to be doing on your walks. I just want to show you, eventually you'll progress to further things, but right now the moment that he sees a dog off in the distance and doesn't go off on it, you should immediately start feeding him, but this can happen. As long as he's not barking, even if you can take the moment of, if he really starts getting at your fingers, just put the food on the ground and give him a moment to eat these things. As long as the dog's not barking, and I'll take one little, here, you can have that one. So now we'll walk away again. Come back into the area, he barks. I can either stay here, wait for him to bark and stop barking, and then pay attention to me. Good boy. Or, yeah, your other buddies. Yeah, lesson's over. Or I can really just gain his attention and work on seeing a dog off in the distance and not barking at it and getting treats until I gain that attention back. Right here, buddy. Good boy. All right, let's go see your buddy.